Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 26.2 Beta 1. This update was released alongside iPadOS 26.2 Beta 1, macOS 26.2 Beta 1, tvOS and HomePodOS, and visionOS 26.2 Beta 1. Now, as far as the file size, it was 7.92 gigabytes on my iPhone 12. However, I did not install this beta. If I go into General, I go under Software Updates, Refresh. I am on iOS 26.1. I will not be installing this update till at least Beta 3 or Beta 4 or the RC, but I will talk about when to expect those a little bit later. Now, as far as what's new in iOS 26.2 Beta 1, well, we have an update to the lock screen with liquid glass, and this is one of the nicest features that Apple could have added. Now, this is obviously not going to show up for me as I'm not on the beta, but within the clock, you now have an option similar to how you have an option to make the colors lighter or darker. You now have that same slider to make the glass sort of feature sort of transparent or more of a frosted look. Transparent is scrolling it all the way to the left, and making it frosted is scrolling it all the way to the right. That is a new feature in iOS 26.2, and I'm honestly glad that Apple did this and can't wait to try it out. There is an update in Apple Podcast. If I go into a podcast here, obviously this won't show up for me, but we do have links within Apple Podcast. We now also have chapters within Apple Podcast as well. This is an all new feature that is in iOS 26.2. We have different chapters that are in the podcast. If I go into Apple News here and we give it a second to load, we now have a new tab. We have a new sort of menu bar option in iOS 26.2. It's not showing up on 26.1 as it is a new feature. Within reminders, you also have an update where if you create a new reminder, you can have it schedule you an alarm if it is an urgent reminder. That is a new feature in iOS 26.2. Now, if you are running the betas on 26.2, I just turned on the feedback, or the beta updates rather. If I go in the feedback app here, and you can see here for whatever reason my iPhone is lagging. But I am not on the beta. There is quite a lot of lag on 26.1 here. But if I go into it here and check to see if we have release notes, Apple hasn't updated the release notes. It's probably because I'm not running the beta, though if I were and they still look like they haven't updated, as I've turned on the beta updates. they're still showing iOS 26.1 RC. Now, as far as what else we can expect from Apple, if I go into the calendar app here, as far as when to expect the next beta from Apple, well, iOS 26.2 beta 2, we could see it next week, or most likely we're going to see it the week of November 16th. If we do see it then, I wouldn't expect beta 3 till December 1st, the week of December 1st. Now, we could have an RC and a final release on the 15th. Though if we have beta 4, then I would assume Apple would release beta 2 next week, beta 3 the week of the 16th, beta 4 the week of December 1st, an RC the week of the 8th, and a final release on the 15th. So either way, we're getting it on the 15th. However, if it's beta 3, I might install beta 3 or I might not. But if it's beta 4, I will definitely install it, as that's the closest beta to the release candidate. But if it is beta 3, and if I don't install that update, I will install the RC when we get it. And after we get iOS 26.2 released, then we see betas for iOS 26.3. But usually when we get that, we will get it and we won't have anything until January. So 26.3 beta 2, January, with the RC in January, which I'll be updating to, all the way until June, where we get iOS 27. And I don't know much leaks and rumors, but it can improve on liquid glass. As far as anything else, well, that's it for iOS 26.2 beta 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.